Regis Prograis. Lifted up high. Prograis, Prograis.
Thank you. Let's not go do that. Thank you.
Peter Berg and the camp, high fives around. The #1 junior welterweight in the world gets his 19th knockout. Great point that it went too far, that the fighter didn't want it.
We got a lot to talk about. I'm going to listen to the post-fight interview. As you know, well, if you don't know, Regis Prograis is by de facto the top 140-pound fighter, even though he's an interim champion, unless they're making him the Diamond Champion. I've been hearing something about this. Is he going to be the Diamond Champion, or does the winner of the World Boxing Super Series become the Diamond Champion? Anyway, we're going to talk about it. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Regis Prograis, 8-round stoppage via body shots. Has stopped Juan Velasco in New Orleans on ESPN, July the 14th, 2018. Right now, it is, what's his body shot?
Goes in, tucked in, he goes around the guard.
The pain in his face. Look at the pain in his face.
That's a tough shot.
My God, watch it. And this was just one of them.
He sees the opening, Velasco leaning forward, comes around the elbow. Shot right there of Velasco, and he goes down. This round here.
But we're going to wait for the post-fight interview. So, let me figure out the best way to explain this to not confuse you and myself, since doing my videos live and uncut. Regis Prograis is now going into the World Boxing Super Series tournament. The World Boxing Super Series is an annual tournament where the winner would fight 3 fights within a year's time. For example, the first season of the World Boxing Super Series tournament featured the 168-pound division. The finalists in that tournament are George Groves and Conor Smith. The date is yet to be determined, but the tournament for that division and the cruiserweight division started in September and October of last year, 2017. Right now it's July the 14th, 2018, 8:31 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Next week, July the 21st, the final for the cruiserweight tournament is going to be Usyk versus Gassiev, and both Usyk versus Gassiev has fought what 3 fights in a year's time, in less than a year's time. So in about a 15-16 month span, Regis Prograis, if he wins the World Boxing Super Series, would have fought 5 fights in about a year and a half, and basically he would come out of that World Boxing Super Series tournament with 3 belts: the WBC, interim, diamond, whatever, the WBA, and the IBF, which is now vacant since Mikey Garcia moved back down to 135. So, looking at the way things are right now, I honestly am giving him versus Josh Taylor to be a 50-50 fight. It was good that at this point in time in his career, he did go 8 rounds in the fight where he was dominating, but I just don't feel that Regis Prograis is going to dominate. I just don't see it right now. I don't see him dominating Josh Taylor, not yet. But it's going to take these guys 3 more fights to be able to, well, 2 more fights to be able to fight each other. The draft for the World Boxing Super Series, that Regis Prograis, Josh Taylor, we're going to go over some other names in a minute. That's going to be next Friday, July the 20th. We're going to be streaming it here. Regis Prograis is going to be there in Moscow, where he's supposed to be for the draft. And we're going to see who he's going to be fighting in the first round and see who Josh Taylor is going to be fighting in the first round as well. Let me go over here before they get to the post-fight interview and pull up some things. Let's go full screen for a minute. Let's go right here. Here is Regis Prograis. He is now 22. He should be 22-0 with 19 KOs after defeating Juan Velasco. Julius Ndongo. Remember, he fought Terrence Crawford to be the undisputed champion. Terrence Crawford became the undisputed champion, but he dominated in just 2 rounds, knocked him out, Julius Ndongo. Nothing else really there. No names that you really know, unless you're like a super hardcore that's been following this guy, you know, coming up. but who's going to be in the World Boxing Super Series tournament. You're going to have Regis Prograis. Jose Ramirez is not going to be in the tournament, and it looks like he'll likely be fighting the winner of Alex Saucedo versus Maurice Hooker, but he's got another fight coming up, and we don't know against who yet. It's going to be somebody in the top 15 right here. Karel Rolak is going to be in the World Boxing Super Series along with Troyanovsky. These guys right here are likely going to be fighting for the vacant IBF title in the World Boxing Super Series. Ivan Barancek and Anthony Yigit. Maurice Hooker just got booked, you know, but he's supposed to be fighting Alex Saucedo whenever he gets his shit together. And Ashley Theophane is also going to be in the World Boxing Super Series, confirmed. And we're still waiting for, I guess, a couple more names. They're on commercial break right now. We're just waiting for them so we can listen to the World Boxing. I mean, not the World Boxing, to Regis Prograis' post-fight interview if they give him one. Right now, they're showing Matisse arriving to the arena for the Pacquiao fight. But what was I talking about? So, like I was saying, Josh Taylor. Here's Josh Taylor right here. Slightly better resume, basically off of one fight. As you can see, he's a pretty large 140-pound fighter, listed at 5'10", 13-0 with 11 KOs. Victor Postol, Winston Campos, Miguel Vasquez, O'Hara Davis. The O'Hara Davis, Vasquez, and the Postol fights are very credible. Oh shit! Hold on.
Your children, what was that like?
Man, it was super special. First off, thank everybody in New Orleans. We the best city in the world. My goal was to bring big-time boxing back to New Orleans, and now you have it. ESPN, we bringing big-time boxing back to New Orleans. Thank everybody for showing up. Thank y'all.
Well, you showed up as well, but so did your opponent. You dropped him 3 times to the body. We were surprised he got up. How did you feel when you knew you landed that beautiful shot, and then you saw him get up?
You know what? This dude came in unknown, and he's going to go now in the world to being known because he was, I'm not gonna lie, he was one of my toughest fights. You know, I mean, I dropped him, I kept dropping him. He kept getting back up. He was super tough. He was actually really strong, you know, but I pushed through it. I couldn't lose in front of my hometown. So thank y'all again, New Orleans. Y'all pushed me through it.
You've never been past the 9th round, and you kept that true because you stopped them in the 8th round. What did
I think my chair's broken.
In tonight's performance?
I know I can push. It's not about me knowing what I can do. I already know what I can do. I just want to show the world what I can do. You know, most people say maybe I can't go this, I can't go 12 rounds. Well, maybe not, but I can go 8 rounds. I can go 9 rounds, you know, if I need to. But, you know, I already knew what I can do. It's all about now the work and see I can be in a tough fight and I can push through it.
What does this fight do for you moving forward?
Well, I already got my plans. I'm going to World Boxing Super Series. But if an opportunity presents itself, maybe the Pacquiao fight, Pacquiao said he might come down to 140. I would love to have that fight. Or, you know, if Lomachenko won't come up to 140, I'll take that fight also. But as far as right now, my plans is going to the World Boxing Super Series.
What will that mean to your career? After that, do you see yourself fighting someone like Jose Ramirez, who's also another 140-pound champion out there?
Definitely. You know, one day me and Jose Ramirez will probably fight. You know, that's definitely a fight. You know, I want it right now, but, you know, we got different paths right now, so I'm going to go in the World Boxing Super Series, hopefully pick up 2 belts. If he fights Maurice Hooker, you know, most likely he'll pick up that belt. It's 2 unified champions fighting against each other for all 4 belts, and that's, you know, that can be a real huge fight.
They say in New Orleans, you never want to see the Rougarou. We saw the Rougarou, Regis Prograis, this evening do his thing in the ring.
Raquel, what about the people in Brazil? Oi, todo mundo no Brasil, favela 76. What's up?
That's because his wife is Brazilian. We send it back to you, Joe.
She is Brazilian. They have a great story. Listen, displaced because of Hurricane Katrina. He goes to Houston, Texas. His wife was making $25 a day. He was fighting for...
If you want to watch the World Boxing Super Series and Regis Prograis' next 3 fights, if he keeps winning, you have to sign up for this. I'm hearing it's going to be $9.99. You're going to get the World Boxing Super Series tournament, the whole card. You're going to get Eddie Hearn's Matchroom USA cards, which are going to be 16. You're going to get 16 Matchroom UK cards or Matchroom regular boxing cards from the UK. You're also going to get Bellator MMA and Anthony Joshua fights and more. Obviously, because it's my job, you know, I'm going to get it, but I really don't understand why fans are bitching about it. It seems like it's going to be like a really, really good, you know, deal for hardcore boxing fans. You know, and then after the World Boxing Super Series, the winner, whether it's him or Josh Taylor, because I'm picking them two to be the favorites, I'm picking them two to go on to the finals of the World Boxing Super Series. The winner of them two will go on to fight the winner of a Jose Ramirez, whoever he fights next, versus the winner of a Maurice Hooker versus Alex Aceto. And then sometime in the fall of next year, we can see this division unified. For example, here's a graphic right here. ESPN is actually talking about. I'm going to let it play before I pause it.
Here, only because of unique circumstances of what was opened up as an interim belt, does he have the WBC interim belt.
And these are the other champions right here. These are the other champions right here. You know, Jose Ramirez. That situation they're talking about, that unique situation, was because Jose Ramirez, Regis Prograis was due a title shot, but Jose Ramirez had to take time off because of his tough fight against Scott Quigg. So therefore, he went on a fight for the interim. So they're going to be ordered to fight each other, of course, after the World Boxing Super Series. Whoever has that interim title at the time, Carrell Lock, the WBA, Maurice Hooker, the WBO. And remember, Mikey Garcia beat Sergey Limpinets, who wanted to be in the World Boxing Super Series, but said, you know, he was denied for whatever reason. He's actually fighting at 147 now, but he lost to Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia became the IBF, won that title, moved back down to 135, and he's fighting he's fighting Robert Easter in a couple of weeks, July the 28th. So right now, you know, it's looking like these are going to be the guys in the 140-pound division. And I'm honestly surprised that Josh Taylor is really not being mentioned. But I can understand that Josh Taylor is not known over here in the United States, mostly because of, you know, his fights not being televised. And you being a hardcore fan over here in the United States, you got to go and find a stream with his fight because, you know, he's from Scotland and his fight's been taking place, you know, over in, you know, that area of the world. And they haven't been televised over here. But he is a legitimate threat, and he can, in my opinion, beat Regis Prograis. But obviously, only time will tell, and the people that will say, nah, Regis Prograis will knock him out, are the people who are likely not watching Josh Taylor fights. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, it is what it is. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.